Hello, good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible. I welcome you all to GRE Preparation Made Easy Quantitative Reasoning Class Geometry by Mrs. Annapurna Murugan. Just yeah, here are a few instructions for the participants. Make sure you have a stable internet connection and noise-free environment. We recommend you to use your earphones for best experience. Also, respect your instructor, classmates, and yourself. Don't write anything inappropriate on the chat box. Just a minute. I guess there's some problem with the presentation. I'll restart it. Just give me a minute. Okay, so yeah, sorry for that. Also, yeah, we have three packages, that is bronze, silver, and gold. If you upgrade to silver and gold, we have benefits like evaluated mock test, expert university recommendations, dedicated counselor for entire application, and so on. Also, we have free profile evaluation with our experts, comprehensive evaluation, university shortlisting, recommendation reports, and doubt clearance. Also, live IELTS classes are conducted Monday to Friday, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. It is a 4-week course, and Duolingo classes are conducted Monday to Friday, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. It is a 2-week course. You may enroll for fee. Also, we have this webinar regarding US student visa interview masterclass. It is being conducted by Mr. Jerry, who is also the co-founder of Ubergrad. This Saturday, 2nd December, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. You may register for free. We have benefits like tips to crack the interview question types, Q&A session, and visa guide. Also, here are a few achievements. This is the Ubergrad website. You can select the country, course, and specialization. When you go and explore, we have countries, universities, courses, and exams. You can get all the information from here. When you go on solution, we have free profile evaluation, talk to the counselor, country recommendations, test preparation stores, and additional services are provided. Also, weekly blogs are uploaded. You may go through them. Also, to contact us, you can call us, WhatsApp us, or mail us. When you go on My Test Preparation on your profile, yeah, and click on GRE View Course, you are headed towards the handouts and recordings. So, in case you've missed any classes, you can get the handouts and recordings from here. Also, I will be sharing the link so you can go through it. And for any other doubts, you may ask at the end of the session. Thank you and have a great session.
Hi guys, good evening. I guess everyone is doing good. Yes. Today we are going to discuss about coordinate geometry. So I'm going to present things related to coordinate geometry. Okay, I'm going to present the screen. So just give me a second. Let me share the screen. Yes. Here we go. I guess everyone could see the screen, right? Just let me know just one whether you people are able to see the screen. Just anyone can give me a thumbs up. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Okay, thank you. So coordinate geometry. What is this coordinate geometry? Yeah, we studied about geometry. Now, what is this coordinate geometry? So, coordinate geometry is also called as Euclid geometry. So, basically, it is what studying the figures on the graph. Okay, so you people will be studying the figures, geometrical figures on the graph, and that topic or that subject we call it as coordinate geometry. Basically, coordinate geometry. So, the first thing that we need to know here is that anything, as I said, you will be studying anything and everything on the graph. And how this graph will be there, so you people must be aware, will be have this is a two-dimensional graph we are talking about. Okay, we are talking about two-dimensional graph where we have x-axis, where we have y-axis, isn't it? So we'll be having two axes, so x-axis and y-axis here. Okay, and now this the point where both x and y meet, they are called as origin. What do we call it as? Origin we call. And so you see here that this part is positive, this part is again positive. That means this part of x-axis is positive and this part of y-axis is positive, while this part is negative x-axis and this part is negative y-axis. Right? Now, that means what? Here let me tell. So the coordinates, how do you locate the points on your coordinate geometry? See, for example, so if we want to locate just randomly, usually you have one single coordinate. E is at 16 kilometers from here, we say. But on graph, if you want to understand, so or if you want to indicate the position of anything, how do you indicate? You indicate by ordered pairs. That means, so you will be having two coordinates for any location. For example, I have a point P here, so this is what the P point on x-axis it will go, and this is what. So therefore, say if it is 5 and if it is 4, so how do you represent where P point is? P point is at the coordinate of 5 and 4. Okay, this is called as ordered pair. So that means what? Usually any point on your coordinate geometry is indicated by ordered pairs. We don't have one single value, we'll be having two values. One value is x and the other one will be y. So if this is the case, so this part we call it as first quadrant. This is second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Okay? So now here what happens in the first quadrant, we'll be referring only this and this. So you will be seeing that both, we know that x and y, here x is also positive, y is also positive. That means what? So here I can say that here in this case x is also greater than 0, y is also greater than 0, where in first quadrant. Whereas in second quadrant, what you will be seeing, x will be negative because negative coordinates. Okay, whereas y will be positive. So in this case, what happens? Here x is less than 0 and y is greater than 0. Okay, what do we have? This one, y is greater than 0. That means the signs what we get, minus and plus. In the first quadrant, it is plus and plus. Okay, and in the third quadrant, what happens? X is also negative, y is also negative. Therefore, we have negative and negative. So that means what? X is also less than 0, y is also less than 0. In terms of signs, this is the thing. In terms of values, this will be the thing, because anything less than 0 is negative, right? So therefore, x is less than 0 and y is also less than 0. Whereas in the fourth quadrant, what will happen? You will be seeing that. So in the fourth quadrant, we have negative y but positive, because this is the part, right? So positive x and negative y, therefore positive x and negative y, which implies x is greater than 0 and y is less than 0. This is what? In terms of, if they give you in terms of what is that? Signs also, you understand like this. If they give in terms of values also, you people understand. So this thing, in which quadrant what values you will be having. Okay, so now I'll not be speaking much about this description. I'll quickly talk about some of the important formulas so that you may require. Okay, so because see, let us not discuss that much of theory here, because it's a very huge topic. Okay, so let me quickly to speak about different formulas that we use, and then accordingly let us do the problems. Now, on any this one, coordinate geometry, if you want to find the distance between, see, P and Q I have, if I want to find the distance between these two things, so, or the distance between any 2 points, if we want to find, what is the formula that we use? We use distance formula. Okay, distance formula we use. Say, if p coordinates x1 comma y1 is the p coordinate, and q coordinate is x2 comma y2, we basically apply Pythagoras theorem here. Okay, so it will be like this, we'll be taking like this. Okay, and we'll be applying the Pythagoras theorem. I don't want to discuss the derivation here, because we won't be asked with any derivation problems. Okay, only on this you need to find the this one, solutions, right? If the points values are this one, then what is the distance formula that we use? So we simply use the Pythagoras theorem here, and taking the Pythagoras theorem, what we do, x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. That means, see, anywhere you are trying to equate, one simple thing you people need to remember. And what is that one simple thing you need to remember? You need to remember that it is like x coordinate. You need to equate x coordinate with x coordinate only, and y coordinate with y coordinate only. Okay, so that means what? The distance formula is root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. And you guys know that since it is a distance will be what? Positive in nature always. Okay, so I can say this could be modulus of this. Okay, so distance is always what? So positive. So therefore it is, distance is always positive here. Okay, and in fact, inside the square root already squares are there. Even if we get the negative value also, it will become positive. So obviously by default the distance will become positive only. Now the same thing, they may ask to find the area of a triangle. Okay, with the coordinates, say I have a coordinate, we know that. So triangle has 3 vertices, isn't it? So what is this vertices, guys? I guess in the first class you would have understood what is this vertices. And x3 comma y3. Vertices means those points, the joints, I can say. These are called as vertices. So here I have a comma x1 comma y1, and b is what? X2 comma y2, and c is what? X3 comma y3. Okay, these are the coordinates I have. If this is the thing, so what you people know, we know that half into base into height we need to find out, because that is the general formula for area of the triangle. But here what we are supposed to do, We use the matrix method here. Okay. Again, it is a matrix method. Again, I will not discuss the derivation, but I will be giving you the ultimatum for this particular this one. That means the area of the triangle usually is given by half the time x2 minus x1 into y2 minus, sorry, x1 minus x2 into y2 minus y3 minus of y1 minus y2 into x2 minus x3. Okay, this is the area that we get. See, we have three coordinates, so we are taking like this: x1 minus x2 into y2 minus y3 minus of y1 minus y2 into x2 minus x3. Okay, so this is the thing that we basically have here. So for the area that we have, okay, area of what? The triangle. So, guys, I guess you people understood. One more formula we can use, this one, the further simplification. If I tend to further simplify, we are going to get x1 into 2 minus x2 into y1. So, and plus x2 into y3 minus x3 into y2 plus x3 into y1 minus x1 into y3. This is the thing basically we have. Okay. But if we have, this is for general when all the three vertices are there, A, B, and C. But if we see that, so if one of the vertices is lying on the origin like this, if we have one of the vertices, so lying on the origin, so then what happens? What is the area? There will be little change here. Why to do so much of thing? So ready-made answer will be giving. So if we have a triangle which is passing through the origin, so and if its vertices are something like this, so 0 0 x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2. Okay, then the area of the triangle in this case reduces to, so half the time x1 into y2 minus x2 into y1. Okay, this is again the modulus we have. Modulus of x1 into y2 minus x2 into y1. So this is the area of the triangle when the triangle is having one of the vertex. So 0 0. That means when it is passing through the origin, so then we are going to get this particular thing. Remember this. Now, sometimes to make the things more difficult, they may give you find the area of the quadrilateral on coordinate geometry. If they give randomly, so you people can actually find the quadrilateral formula. But if we have, so on your coordinate geometry, how do you find that? And x4 comma y4. See, four coordinates, because quadrilateral four coordinates we have. So therefore, how does it goes? It applies in the same way that we have half the times modulus of x1 into y2 minus x2 into y1 plus x2 into y3 minus x3 into y2 plus x3 into y4 minus x4 into y3 plus, so x4 into y1 minus, so x1 into y4. This is the thing basically we have. Okay, this is the formula to find what? The area of the quadrilateral, but again we are taking matrices method to derive this. Okay, I'm saying I'm not using any derivation because each derivation takes 10 to 15 minutes, and first of all we won't be getting them in the exam also. So that's the reason I don't want to go so technical in the class here. Now, these were some of the formulas that so is important. But other than this, so I would like to talk about so few more formulas that plays crucial role in our coordinate geometry. So one is section formula. What is this section formula? If you recall your 10th standard, so you will be coming across this section formula. See, section formula is nothing but I have a line A and B. Okay. So now I have a point P. Okay. So AP and PB is in the ratio M is to N. Now I need to find the location of it, or I need to find the coordinates of it. Okay. So, but I have what? So x1, y1 and x2, comma, y2. But you need to find the coordinates of this. But they are not equally divided here. If it is equally divided, you can take the average formula. Okay. What you can do, you can take the average formula. But what is that you are seeing? So you are seeing that they are unequally divided. They are divided in the ratio of what? M is to N. So if they have divided in the ratio of M is to N, then what you will be doing here? So we take a simple, this one, what is that? I guess you remember when I was doing the average method, this one, what is that? The average of speed and all, I had taken the same kind of formula here. What is that? So M times X coordinate. See, we find individually. X coordinate will be equal to what? M times x2 plus n times x1 divided by m plus n. Okay. What is this? You see that m times x2 plus n times x1 divided by m plus 1. Then y will be given as what? Same like this. M times y2 plus n times y1 divided by m plus n. Take it. So this is the thing basically we have here. Okay, what is that we have? So this is what, these are the two important things you people need to keep on. By chance, they may ask this or they may not ask. But distance formula, section formula, so all these things compulsory you will be getting. So be aware of this section formula. Basically, let me repeat. The section formula is used to find the coordinates of a point that is located between the 2 points and which is in the ratio of m is to n. Remember, section formula means this is the thing. The meaning of section formula is nothing but you are finding the coordinates of x and y of some point that is lying between. I am saying it is between A and B. Okay, which is again distanced in the ratio of m is to n. This is the section formula that we have. But we have one more section formula. Now I have A and B. In this thing, the point P was lying inside. That means it was between. But here, if the point is outside A and B, if the point is like this, either this side or that side. If you want to find the coordinates of x and y, here this is the thing, and b coordinate is x2, y2. How does the this one? What is that? Your section formula changes. We have little variation because the point is outside here. What is happening? The point is outside here. Hence, so we have two conditions. Okay, one is what? M less than n. Another one, m greater than n. Okay, these are the two variations that we have. So, if that is the case, so we are going to, what is the formula that we have? M times x2 minus n times x1 divided by m minus n. Okay, this is the thing. We are subtracting m times x2 minus, so this is the value of x here. M times x2 minus n times x1 divided by m minus 1. And y will be equal to what? M times y2 minus n times y1 divided by m minus 1. So these are the two section formulas that you people need to understand and remember, because they are going to ask a question. For every section formula, don't use the first one. If the point is lying beyond AB, so then so you need to use this particular formula there. Okay. So this is the thing that we basically have. Now, they may be asking you to find the centroid of the triangle. Again, what is this centroid? When the medians meet, okay? So, when the medians of, see, for a triangle, we have three medians, three altitudes, three angle bisectors, three perpendicular bisectors, everything will be 3, 3, 3, okay? If three medians meet, that will be exactly at the center. And that is called as centroid, okay? If they ask, if we have the coordinates x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, then if they ask what is the centroid, centroid is x comma y. How you take? You need to, because it's a centroid, the midpoints, okay? So you will be seeing that x will be equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 divided by 3, okay? And y will be equal to what? Y1 plus y2 plus y3 divided by 3. Okay. So these are this is the formula to find the centroid or the intersection of the medians of the triangle. Okay. So now let me also talk about collinearity. What is this collinearity? When do we say that the things are in collinear? Collinear. The name itself says when the elements are lying on the same line. Okay. When the elements are lying on the same line, so then we can say that so it is collinear. So now what you are going to do here means you use the distance formula. What we use? Distance formula. If they give three coordinates, okay, A is x1 comma y1, B is x2 comma y2, C is x3 comma y3. And if you want to find they are collinear or not, what you need to do? So it is nothing but, so, and if they say that all these are things, either like what is that? You find the distance between AB, you find the distance between BC, you find the distance between AC. Now, if you get one of this condition, AB plus BC, if you add the distance here, if that distance is equals to AC, then they are collinear. Or if AB plus AC is equals to, so what is that? BC. So then also the thing will be there. Or if it, because when the coordinates changes, I am talking about this. Okay. So if we have AC plus CB, And if it is equals to AB, so then also it is collinear. That means what? It's simply like, let me tell you one simple concept here. If the distance of two, this one, coordinates is equal to the third one, so then what we can say? So it is collinear. All the points are lying on the same straight line. What we can say? All the points are lying on the same straight line. With this note, let me start off with, so one of the most important and crucial things of coordinate geometry, that is straight line. Usually what happens, so usually you see that, so straight line based questions only will be more on coordinate geometry, isn't it? Now I would like to, before I go on to the straight line, I would like to tell here, like, what is slope? Slope is what? Something that is steep, isn't it? So, and you can see if something is here, what is this? Say, I have this thing. Now, if I have something like this, what is this slope called as? This slope is called as rising slope. Why? You can see the values are increasing. But if I take the slope like this, what is this called as? This is called as your falling slope. That means the slope is decreasing here. Okay. So rising slope and falling slope we have. Okay. So this is just for you people to understand that. Now, what is this slope? So slope is nothing but whenever we have, so you can see that, so the values of x and y both are changing here, isn't it? If I take a graph like this, something, what is that happening? See, if I have this point and this point, so you can see if this is x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2, as we are going up, what is happening? The value of x is also changing. Corresponding, the value of y is also changing. That means what? The slope is nothing but the changing value of x and the changing value of y here. Hence, what we can say here, so we can say that slope is equals to change in x, change in y divided by, so change in x here. Or see, change in y we call it as rise, change in x we call it as run. Okay. So how do you represent this change in y? We call it as rise, and change in x we call it as run. Therefore, and usually the slope is indicated by m, and m is equals to what? Y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So definitely here, if x1 is not equal to x2. Why? If x1 is equals to x2, it cancels out and it becomes, the slope is undefined here, isn't it? It will become undefined. If x is same, okay, so for every y, the x is same, okay, then it will be what? Like this, no? It will be parallel to vertical line. There is no slope only there. If x is same, what is happening? So you will be seeing that, so there is no slope only. Why? It is a simple straight vertical line there. So that means slope will not exist there. So x1 and x2 should be different when we are talking about the slope here. Okay. And even if you see if y1 is equals to y2, that means if you have all the y coordinates same only, but only x is changing, then it is parallel to horizontal line. So that means here also slope is what? Zero here. Why? Zero by something is nothing but zero only, isn't it? So therefore, So what should be the value? The slope only exists if we have y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, if x1 should not be equal to x2. Okay. So this is how we'll be taking here. Now, yeah, before talking about the equations of lines, I would like to talk about y-intercept and x-intercept. Now, everyone will be confused about this. What is this x-intercept and y-intercept? Y-intercept is what? When x is 0. When x is 0, whatever the value of y we get, so that is called as y-intercept. When y is 0, whatever the value of x we get, that is called as x-intercept. That's it. It is nothing else. Okay, x-intercept and y-intercept. Now, based on this, so let us find the equations here. Okay, the first equation that we have here. So, or kindly, basically, you try to see. So, generally, what is the equation of line? A general equation of line is given by ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. Okay, this is the general form of straight line equation. Here the y-intercept is given by what? Minus c by b. This is the y-intercept, while x-intercept is given by what? Minus c by a. So x-intercept is given by minus c by a, and slope is given by, what is that? Minus a by b. Remember this. This is the general form of equation. If they give you any equation in this form, it's a linear equation. You people know ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. If the equation is like this, how do you find the y-intercept? You take constant divided by the this one coefficient of y. So negative constant divided by coefficient of a gives the x-intercept, and the slope is given by, so negative times a by b. And what are this a and b? They are the coefficients of x and y. This is what? This is general form of equation. What it is? General form of straight line. Remember this, because they give so varieties of equations. Okay, you should know what are this. Now, if they give 1 point x1 comma y1 and one slope they give, what they do, they give 1 point and one slope. So they will ask you to find the equation here. Now you need to make the straight line equation. How do you make this? The straight line equation is given by y minus y1 is equals to m times x minus x1. So this is the equation that would be constructed if one set of point and a slope is given, and this form of equation is called as what? So point slope equation. What do we call it as? Point slope equation we are going to call it as. Okay, and the next form of equation, if we have 2 points, if they give 2 points, sorry, 2 points, that is two coordinates, if they give, that is x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2, they will be giving. Now this is called as what? So x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2. In this case, if x1 is equals to x2, see, two conditions we get. If x1 is equals to x2, then what we get? We get a vertical line, right? Vertical line. So that means what? The equation of line becomes x is equals to x1. What? Because the slope is 0. What is the slope? the slope won't exist. So that's the reason the equation of line just reduces to x is equals to x1 here. But if this is some special case, x1 is not equal to x2, then the equation that we are going to get here is what? Y minus y1 is equals to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Don't you think this is the same slope equation we are getting? Slope is what? Y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. The same thing, because we can find the slope there. Okay, if 2 points are given, so we can find it. So y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus 1. So this is the equation where we are having 2 point, and this equation called as what? So this one, 2 point line equation, what we say, 2 point line equation, and this is called as vertical line equation. Vertical line equation, if they ask, how do you say x is equals to x1? That is the only one digit we get. So it is called as vertical line equation. Okay. So what all we discussed? We discussed generic form of equation. We discussed point and slope equation. So in point and slope, what happens? 1 point and 1 slope they will be giving, and you need to construct the line equation there. Whereas in what is that? In the second thing, what happens? We'll be having 2 coordinates or 2 points, and you need to build an equation. Under that, 2 conditions will be there. If x1 is equals to x2, then the equation turns out to be what? Vertical line equation. And what is the thing like equation appears to be? X is equals to x1 here. Whereas, so if x1 is not equal to x2, then we get the proper equation, and that proper equation is called as what? 2 point line equation. So, and it is given by what? Y minus y1 is equals to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Okay. And this is the thing we basically have here. The next thing we have, still we have the lines equation. Okay. When they give x-intercept and y-intercept, so how do you construct the equation? That is, this equation, it is called as what? Intercept equation. Intercept form of equation. Here they give x and y intercepts as A and B. What we call it as A and B, we get they are what? X-intercepts and Y-intercept. And how do we get that? X by A plus Y by B is equals to 1. Okay. This is the thing we basically have. What is that? X by A plus Y by B should be equal to 1. This is called as what? Intercept form of equation. And here you see that X is, A is X-intercept. That means what? The value of, I'll again say, what is this X-intercept and Y-intercept? X-intercept means what? When y turns out to be 0, what is x value? Y-intercept means when x turns out to be 0, what is the y value? That is given by B. Therefore, the line of equations comes out to be what? X by A plus Y by B is equals to 1. Now, we get one more final equation, slope and intercept equation. Slope M and y-intercept equation. Okay. It is called as what? Y is equals to mx plus b. Now, don't think that, oh, only these formulas. So, I don't think it is important. No, guys, they will be giving the these things, either slope and y-intercept. You need to make the equation there. You need to present the equation. How do you present? If you don't know this, so how do you present that, isn't it? If they give intercept form of equations, okay, if they give x intercept and y intercept, you need to build an equation. How do you build an equation if you are not aware of this thing, isn't it? So therefore, that is the reason this theoretical part plays crucial this one. Okay, so now let me talk about the lines. Okay, so these are the different forms of equations that we have here. So now here I would like to talk about the conditions so that we have for parallel lines and the perpendicular lines. How do you understand? So the given lines are parallel and the given lines are this one. Okay, so now here if I have a parallel line, two lines are parallel, what does that mean? What are the conditions? So we know that equation of line will be what? Let the equation of line ax1 plus by1 plus a1 is equals to 0. This is one line. The other line will be ax2 plus by2 plus c2 is equals to 0. This is another one equation. Okay, or we can say it as, so let me rewrite this. The constants will be different here. Sorry. So a1x plus b1y plus, so c is equals to 0. a2x plus b2y plus constant. So c1 and c2 I can take. So should be equal to 0. What is the condition of parallelism? So if you have the coefficients, the ratio of a1 by a2 should also be equal to b1 by b2. Okay. So what is that? The ratio of a1 by a2 should be equal to b1 by b2. Or we can say the slope of this equation, the slope of equation 1 should be same as slope of equation 2. That means either you can identify the slope. If you have a slope, well and good. If the slopes are same, then you can say that the two equations, I mean, the two lines are parallel. If you are not able to find the slope, so if you have the coordinates of x and y for the equations, then you see that if they are proportional, if their ratio is equal, so then what we can say? So we can say that, so this is the thing. That means the if it follows this thing, then we can say that the lines are parallel. But if I have a line which is perpendicular to each other. Lines means it can be anywhere, right? So if I have the lines that is perpendicular to each other, you should see that. So the line slope, if one line slope is m1, so the other line slope will be what? The negative reciprocal of that. Okay, so for line 1, if the slope is n, this is line 1 and this is line 2. If they are perpendicular, then line 2 slope should be what? Negative reciprocal of the slope of this. That means when we take the slope of line 1 into the line 2, we should get what? -1. That means the product of the slopes of two lines. So if it is -1, then the lines are perpendicular here. What we can say? We can say that the lines are perpendicular here. Got it? Otherwise, in terms of coefficients, if we take a1 into a2 plus b1 into b2 should give rise to 0. Either this you people check or this you check, you will understand so that, so they are parallel or perpendicular. Now, the lines of equation. If we have the equation of a line passing through, if passing through point x1 comma y1, then so What is that? If the lines are parallel, so if the one line is parallel to other, so if this line is parallel to ax plus by plus c is equals to 0, so then how do you understand this? It is given by ax minus x1 plus b times y minus y1 plus. So this should get cancelled, should be equal to what? 0 here. Okay, that means if we equate them, they should give us 0. Whereas for perpendicular, what it becomes? If the same point is perpendicular to an equation ax plus by plus c is equals to 0, then the equation of line should be what? B times x minus x1 minus of a times y minus y1 should be equal to 0. Got it, guys? These are some of the equations which you people need to prominently work on, and then so you need to work on the problems here. Okay, any doubts till here you people have? No doubts? Is all the formulas fine? Please recapitulate. It's very important. Coordinate geometry definitely will be having few questions on them, so kindly work on it. Check. Okay, guys. Thank you. If you don't have any doubts, so even I'll also be.
Thank you, ma'am. Also, if anyone has any other doubt due to the Ubergrad handouts or recordings, you may ask now. Otherwise, I'll be ending the session. Thank you so much.